Hi guys, it's Grania, Cakes, Weights and Protein Shakes. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that no one wants to do. There's lots of different things within fitness and dieting that are really the best thing for you to do for yourself in order for you to progress. But there's also a lot of those things that none of us really actually want to be doing. So I just wanted to make a video of my top 5 things that no one really wants to do, just to show you all that you're not on your own if you hate doing them too. Number 1, drink more water. Drinking more water is really important to maintain a healthy diet and lifestyle. I personally like to drink 1 to 2 of these big jugs of water every day. I bring it everywhere with me and it makes drinking more water really easy. It's a lot easier when you're drinking water to stop eating rubbish all the time because it does keep you full if you always have something to go to rather than going to food all the time. I would say that you know, drinking 2 to 4 litres a day is a really good place to aim for if you're training. 2 litres is great as a standard, and I think so many people out there aren't even hitting the 2 litres anywhere near. I know I certainly wasn't. So my number 1 thing is drinking more water. Number 2, cutting out alcohol. Cutting out alcohol is seriously hard to do. But if you're getting serious about your weight loss and your diet goals, cutting out the booze is one of your surefire ways to get things started. If you're still binge drinking at the weekends or having the odd glass of wine with your dinner, cutting that out is a great way to get things moving. Whether it's to do with your diet goals or training goals, alcohol is just really the evil that we all love to hate. I'm not saying by any means that you should never go out and drink again, but if you really have got a firm goal in mind or you have a deadline for your goal, then cutting out the booze is really going to be something that is essential, and none of us really want to do it. So that's why number 2 is cutting out alcohol. Number 3, eating boring breakfasts. None of us really want to be pouring the same amount of oats into a bowl every single morning. But when you're dieting and you're strict about your goals, eating the same sort of foods can be a convenient way to make dieting easy. I think sometimes the internet and Instagram and everything shows all these amazing breakfasts of smoothie bowls and platters of fruit and all of these exciting things. But the reality is you're not going to be making yourself pancakes every morning before you go to work. It's oats, it's maybe a couple of Weetabix with some almond milk. The reality is it's boring, and boring is what achieves results. So that's why my number 3 thing that no one wants to do is eat boring breakfasts. Number 4, track your workouts. In all seriousness, you don't need to bring a big notepad like that and that ridiculously huge pen into the gym with you, but I do use a notebook when I go around the gym, just a small little one and a little pen. People don't really want to have to bring pen and paper around the gym, but the reality is keeping a track of what you're doing, of the weight that you're lifting and the amount of reps that you're doing on that weight is the best way to see if you are progressing. So tracking your progress in the gym, especially if you're doing weight training, is something that's really, really important. These days you can have an app on your phone to help you track if you don't want to write it down. We've all got our phones glued into our hands, but I personally do like writing things, so I just have a small notebook I take and just keep a track of everything. So that's why my number 4 thing that no one wants to do is tracking their workouts. Number 5. My number 5 thing that no one wants to do is choosing the salmon over the pizza. The reality is, if all your girlfriends on a Friday night are eating a Domino's pizza, you're gonna want pizza too. It's really hard sometimes to actually make those healthy choices. I have found that having a boyfriend who also trains has made it a little bit easier for me. So being around supportive people is something that I will always say is the number 1 thing to try and achieve. But obviously that's not always possible. Sometimes your partner's not going to want to eat what you want to eat, so it can be really difficult. I would say the best thing for me is not actually buying those things in the supermarket, not having them at home, not having them in the fridge. When you're out for dinner and you're eating out, it can be really hard to choose the salmon dish with the baby new potatoes instead of the pizza or the unhealthy healthy salad. But do make choices that make you happy. No one's saying that you should always choose the salmon. Sometimes you should just have the pizza. And that's why really my number 5 thing that no one wants to do is choosing the salmon over the pizza.